A big sigh of relief. Global markets react to hopes for a deal to resolve the Greek debt turmoil. And millions of Chinese students are about to find out crucial exam results. Thanks for joining us for this Tuesday edition of Asia Business Report on BBC World News. I'm Rico Hizon. Asian stock markets look set to rise again this Tuesday as investors hope a deal will be struck between Greece and Eurozone leaders. Overnight, U.S. shares ended up strongly with the Nasdaq closing at a record high. And this is how regional markets traded on Monday, mostly stronger on those hopes for Greece. The Greek government has offered to raise billions in higher taxes and austerity initiatives to appease its creditors. For his views, I'm joined now from Hong Kong by analyst Peter Churchhouse. And Peter, Asia started this relief rally Monday morning when the word got out of the Greek proposal. Then the winning streak continued into Europe and the U.S. In your view, does this rally still have legs for Asia to continue this Tuesday?
Well, I think so, Rico. As you know, Asia as the world's factory has been one of the biggest beneficiaries of globalization, and any potential disruption to that financial markets around the world is likely to have a contagion effect in this part of the world. So anything that is going to stop potential disruption will be seen as a positive for these markets. So I'm expecting to see a rally continue. We saw the markets let out a small cheer yesterday before the packages were discussed, but I think we're going to see that continue in the next day or so.
But Peter, aren't markets getting ahead of themselves? Because nothing has really been concluded as of yet. And if the numbers don't add up, then we could see once again a failure in the negotiations.
That's absolutely correct. I think this is the first time in 5 months that we've actually seen light at the end of a very long and dark tunnel. And the feedback we're seeing out of Europe is that this looks like, for the first time, we are going to see an agreement. So I think the markets have taken that on board. But of course, there is always the chance of a disappointment. And of course, there's always the fact that remains that there will be further negotiations carried on later in the year. So this isn't the end of the road by any means. It's just a part-way stop along that road.
Because if you look deeper, Peter, any deal is unlikely to resolve Greece's long-term financial problems. That means uncertainty about its future is likely to hang over markets for some time.
Oh, for sure. Greece has about 313 billion euros of sovereign debt. Over 80% of that debt is held by France, Germany, Spain, and Italy. Now, of course, they certainly don't want to see any defaults on that debt because that will have negative implications for their own financial system. So that is going to take a long, long time to repay. And at the end of the day, I think there will have to be some adjustment to those debt levels at some point. But of course, the Germans and the French and everybody else don't want to see that. They don't want to admit that.
Hong Kong expert Peter Churchhouse, thank you so much for your insights. For more than 9 million high school students in China,